Welcome to the kindergarten science homework video for the week of January 18 through January 22nd. Since there is no school on Monday, we are going to begin this week with Tuesday's homework. So first of all, the directions state that you should circle the non-living things in each of these rows and then mark an X on the living things in each of the row. So you also have to remember what you have learned in class about living things and non-living things. So non-living things, they cannot move on their own. Let's say, for example, the balloon. It cannot move on its own unless somebody moves it. Non-living things also do not grow. They also do not change on their own. They don't grow from a baby stage to an adult stage. So therefore, there is no change that takes place in non-living things. So please take all those characteristics into consideration and circle all non-living things and mark an X on all the living things that you see in this page. Next, for Tuesday's homework, you are going to compare the animals. So question 1 says, circle two animals that move alike. So when you compare animals, you can see how they move. Do they jump? Do they run? Do they hop? Do they fly? So which two animals move the same way is what this question is asking you. So this is a bird, and a bird flies. And a butterfly also flies. But the frog, it does not fly, it hops. So the two animals that move alike has to be these two animals because they both fly, therefore they move alike. So you will circle these two animals. Question 2 and 3 I want you to try on your own. So question 2 says circle the animal that has fur or hair on its body. And then question 3 says circle the animal that does not have legs. So you will have to look at each animal and circle the animal that does not have legs. Then on Wednesday you are going to do a little project. And this has to be done by going outside on a nature walk with an adult. You can also look up items on a computer if you have one at home, and then check off all these nature items on this chart. Next, you are going to compare the ways in which living things are different and alike and where they were found. So on the next page, you are going to draw the pictures of the living things you saw, and then an adult will write the answers to the questions stated on the worksheet on the next page. So let's take, for example, these two living things, the bird and the squirrel. We are going to compare those two to see the differences and the similarities. So first of all, you are going to draw the two pictures of the living things. Since we are going to compare the bird and the squirrel, you will draw those two here. Next, you are going to write all the difference that you see among those two living things. So what are the differences? The bird have feathers, but the squirrel has fur. So you can put bird has feathers, squirrel has fur. And birds fly. Squirrels, you can put they walk or run. So those would be some of the differences that you can find in those two living things. Now let's look at some similarities found on the bird as well as the squirrel. So they both have eyes, and you can also put they both have feet. And another difference that you can write is the bird has a beak, but the squirrel has a mouth with teeth. So those are some of the things that you can write by comparing the two living things. Next, I want you to come up with two more living things that was on the previous page, and then find the differences and similarities to those two living things that you drew here. Okay, in the same way you will do these two squares and the other squares that is found here. So if you have any difficulty, you can come see me for homework questions, and I will be glad to explain this project to you. Now let's look at Thursday's homework. Thursday, you will draw 3 living things and 2 non-living things in the box that says what is it? That is this box. What is it? So you draw 3 living things and 2 non-living things. And then you are going to put a check mark in each of the boxes if the living or non-living things needs it. If it does not need it, mark the box with an X. So let's pick, for example, a baby, a human baby. So a human baby, does it need food? Yes. Therefore, you will put a check. And does the human baby need air? Yes. Therefore, you will put a check. Does it need water? Yes. So check. Does it grow from a baby to an adult? Yes. So put a check. Does it make babies? Yes. When it grows big, it's going to make babies, so you can put a check. Is it a living thing? Yes. So put a check, because all living things, they need food, they need water, air, they grow, and they make babies. Therefore, it is a living thing. So you need to have a check there. So that's it for this week's homework. I hope that this homework video will help you answer all your homework questions. Thank you for watching this video for this week.